All right, I saw Godzilla Minus One the other day, which was a lot of fun. I mean, first, a little about me to explain, I feel like my movie taste. I am not someone who is a big Godzilla fan. I haven't watched hardly any of the Godzilla movies, so I didn't know at all what to expect. That's been a big blind spot. I need to watch some of those classic Godzilla movies. I'll do that someday, right? I also, am not a big action movie fan, which is probably part of why I haven't watched a lot of Godzilla movies. That's just not something I've been interested in. I haven't seen any of the newer Godzilla ones at all. None of those have piqued my interest, even though I think I've heard some of them are good, but, it's just not something I'm typically drawn out to see. So it almost makes you wonder, why did I even watch this movie? Well, I had some time. Figured I'll go on a Thursday afternoon, go see the Godzilla Minus One movie. Again, I don't know how much plot details I even need to give for. We get it, it's Godzilla. But more or less, the concept is Godzilla is coming, and obviously, with the Godzilla thing, there is the political aspect of it, right? Of the comparison to Godzilla and to the atomic bomb that was dropped on Japan. And that's kind of the point of it. And I think this movie really captured that perfectly. Of like, listen, it's causing this destruction. We don't know if it's going to happen again. We don't know what exactly it means. We don't know all the details behind it. New things are coming across as it's happening. A lot of I thought Godzilla has this, I don't even know how much I want to say, but I think I can say this. He has like a, I don't know what you call it, like a laser beam that comes out of his mouth, hyper breath, whatever hyper beam, as they would call it in Pokemon. He has that sort of power, and I thought that the way that they showed that was visually similar to the atomic bomb, and like that kind of the way that they did that. So while this destruction was happening, it could be easy to say, okay, yeah, I get it, destruction, it's monster movie, whatever. But with the kind of comparison to a real world tragedy, regardless of if you think that bomb should have been dropped or not, it's still a real world tragedy either way. The fact that it was, it elevates the horror, I guess I would say. Horror is a good word to use with this film, because I think that it's one of those things where it should be obvious, but it's kind of cool to see a monster movie with a monster that's actually scary. I feel like that's something that makes sense, but doesn't always seemingly happen. There were some legitimate moments of suspense. They let there be suspenseful moments. And I think it's because there were stakes to the movie. Early on, you saw a lot of minor characters, not even sure if they had lines, but a lot of minor characters die early on, and it's, a couple scenes in, and that set the tone, I thought, for the rest of the film, and let you actually feel like anything can happen. I do want to get into spoilers at the end of this video, but I think I can non-spoilers for a while here. I thought that there were some really just fascinating set pieces. The way that the action was filmed, it understood that action isn't about looking cool. Action is about suspense, or about building something, about creating drama. I think suspense is the best way to use action, and this movie did that. There's a really cool scene where they're on a boat and Godzilla's chasing after them that I thought was awesome. I thought it was really well done, and there were tons of just great suspenseful moments. At the end of the day, this movie is, it's not a horror movie, it's not, but it followed some similar filmmaking philosophies that horror movies come up with, which is what created it, what made it so fascinating to me. Also, a lot of this movie has nothing to do with Godzilla. I mean, this is very much, again, one thing you have to understand with these kind of movies is if you're making a movie like this, it can't be about the monster. The monster in this movie is the bad guy, and that's how it I won't say how it should be, because you can make good movies where the monster isn't a bad guy, but if you're doing that, you have to make it about the character. And again, there were some really interesting things with the main lead in this film. I'll make an attempt to pronounce his name. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Renosuke Kamiki is the actor who was the main lead, and he had some real baggage to him, for lack of a better word. He's definitely someone who is not just your prototypical action hero, and I thought that was fascinating. I thought that I'll give a shout out to another name I'm going to make an attempt to pronounce, Kurensuke Sasaki. I thought that he was as a sort of a side character, one of the guys on the boat that our lead is working on. I thought he did a really good job. Just a lot of his facial expressions and stuff were very fun. Google his name if you're curious as to which guy I'm talking about. Yeah, a lot of really fun moments of this. I'm not going to say that every moment worked for me. I do have some critiques, but and I also would say that I think some of the non-action scenes could have been shortened. I think that the pacing did get a little slow in certain aspects of it. Really went for the emotional moments, and while I would say they pretty much all hit, there is only so much time you want to spend watching somebody cry before you move on. That's just kind of how it works. So I think they could have sped up that a little bit, but I still really enjoyed it, giving it an 8 out of 10, which for an action movie for me might be the highest rating I ever give an action movie. So definitely worth checking out, I think, if you're an action fan. I should mention also it's a Japanese movie, so it is with subtitles, but I don't know, I kind of feel like, I mean, if you're an adult, watch a movie with subtitles. You're missing out on so many great movies if you're afraid of subtitles. It's not that difficult. That's what I think. But yeah, let's get into spoilers now, because I want to talk about a couple of nitpicks I have in detail. So spoilers, give you 3 seconds to get out of here before we if you haven't seen it yet and want to. But yeah, okay. So now with that, couple of cheesy moments. We're in spoilers now. Couple of cheesy moments I thought in this film, specifically the ending. Like, I don't know. I can even live with when the main character survived at the end. Okay, that's fine. It's cheesy, but whatever. I get it. I think you could have just had him die. I don't know if that. I mean, I guess it would have defeated the purpose of the movie, so I think it was fine to have him live. I don't think they needed to. That was fine. I had no issue with that. Part of me almost wonders if they could have set it up a little bit differently so it didn't feel like a cheat at the end. Maybe let us know the character has the choice of, like, should he live or should he die, and it's like, hey, there's, it's slightly less likely that you'll kill Godzilla if you jump out, but should you do it anyway? Like, that could have been a way to make it work better, in my opinion, as opposed to like, well, it didn't matter if he jumped out or not, so might as well jump out. But that wasn't a huge deal. Kind of some of the other stuff, though, like his, I don't know, his romantic interest in the movie, which I didn't mention. I should have mentioned this before, but I actually liked that dynamic. I liked the dynamic of them, like, liking each other, but like also not ever do anything about it. Like, I think that was an interesting dynamic. And when I thought she died, to me, that was a great moment in the movie. And I don't know why we needed to kind of retroactively take that back and have her be living at the end. Just, you got the emotional pull out of us by making us think that she died. You're good. You don't need to bring her back just for that. We still, the movie would have still worked. It still would have had the happy ending, even if it wasn't for that. And it did. It felt like a cheat to me, at least. So yeah, I didn't love that. Also, there was a moment, I mentioned the boat scene, which I thought was awesome, where Godzilla's chasing after them. They're trying to escape it. That was super cool. But then it kind of ends with this other boat coming by and just shooting Godzilla, and then that, like, Godzilla going after that, and then that was the end of the, that's how they got out of it, which I didn't love either. You don't want to feel like the main characters got lucky. You want to feel like they did something to get out of the situation. So a few moments like that, which I didn't love. None of them completely ruined the experience, but it kind of did make me roll my eyes a little bit. And I think I could have maybe even given this a higher score if it wasn't for that. So maybe -1 because of those things, so to speak. Maybe it would have been a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for that. I don't know. But either way, fun movie, very fun movie, worth checking out. I didn't even mention the special effects. I'll just do that now as well. A lot of talk about the special effects, and I think Peter's been talking about, well, the money's less. I think that money just goes further in Japan. They don't, from what I understand, I don't know all the details, but so that's been something that's been discussed. But I don't think it's quite as simple as, well, they had less money, made it look this good. Why can't America do that? I think a couple things. For one, Godzilla wasn't in that many different locations. I think it was only in like 3 different locations. So like that obviously is going to lower the price range for that. I also think that I'm going to be honest, I didn't think the special effects themselves were what made this look so good. I think it was because they weren't afraid to like actually have a CGI creature on like, a shot that isn't CGI. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know, the Jurassic World movie, it feels like when there's a dinosaur shot, the whole shot is CGI looking to try and make the dinosaur look better. This kind of went with the mindset of like, okay, we're gonna have CGI. Even like when our the love interest, the female lead, even when she's like hanging out of the the train as it's falling. Okay, below it's clearly CGI. It's clearly not real what we're seeing below. But the thing that she was hanging on to was real, and it made the overall shot look better, even if there was an aspect of it that didn't look as good. So I think that's what I personally liked about it. So I liked the special effects. I don't think it was because the special effects themselves were great. I think it was because of the filmmaking choice to not ruin the entire picture to try and make the special effects look 5% better. So let's just make the whole image look good. And there were times when the special effects looked amazing too. There were just some times where it looked a little blocky. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What were yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.